can take care of each other when, because, you know, my catastrophizing brain and everything's going to shit. But I'm like, I know in that community has always been what humans have used to survive. Community, coming together, being together. And so like, I need to build my village, build my community, so that when this stuff does come,
we ready.
We're ready. And I'm not standing alone.
We can't, like, God dropped that in on me last year. The only way we're going to survive, period, but where this world is headed is together. And that's why I started my family work, because I was just like, if we can't even live at home with our family, how the fuck we gonna survive? We gotta go find a whole bunch of strangers that we think.
Literally.
I know exactly how my mama think. I know exactly how she get down. I just got to figure out how to get along with this. I would way rather do that than go find some stranger and complete. Now, I get it. I get the beautiful side of it, making your own family. But God said, no, we got to be able to share space with each other in order to survive. You combining income, 5 incomes of $1,000 a month is $5,000. Versus your 1,000, your 1,000, your 1,000, your 1,000, your 1,000. So the only way that we are going to survive this is together.
Absolutely. So for I remember telling you about my family. I've had to set my family aside, but I've been adopted into my wife's family because my wife's family doesn't reject me the way my family rejects my wife. So it's
which is wild.
They rejected us.
Are you black? Are you all black?
No, her family.
You.
So she's native of me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on board. Yes.
Because we usually accept everybody.
Well, not queer. We do have an issue with queer people. So my mom is very much unaccepting of that. But her mom is not. And me and her mom have had our problems, but I'm like, you know what, babe? That's our mom. We're going to figure this out. That's our mom. That's our sisters. She's got 4 sisters, 1 brother. Those are our sisters. We're going to figure this out.
Amen. We got to. Because there's... The only way... All I can say is the only way we're going to survive is together. And... Yeah. It's going to turn into, you know, The Walking Dead or any other dystopia movie if we don't get it together, because we feel like it's me against you. And it's really not. I know how to grow food. You know how to purify water. You know how to start a fire. You know how to da-da-da-da-da-da. You know how to hunt some shit.
Is I'm a trained teacher. Everybody's kids get educated. We all do.
Yeah, we all. That's what exactly. I'm just like, okay, what do you know how to do? We all need to know how to do that. You know, but what I'm saying is out into the world, if you and I meet up and we're walking down the street, either we're going to fight for each other's resources or see how we could combine our resources. So that's
and I'm like, as human beings, we created society because we need each other to survive. There is none of us living on this planet without another person. That's just not a thing. I'm like, either you are out in those fields, growing your own food, making your own clothes, building your own house, or you're dependent on the society.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Shame people for having their village.
Yes.
Well, you don't live in your nuclear family lifestyle. We were never supposed to. That's why it doesn't work.
All right, friend. I'm going to let this dog out this room and I'll click on the next link.
Okay.
All right. All righty, sis. I'm back.
All right.
All right. Yeah, it's crazy because all these women are in this mom group, but they exhibit the same behaviors that they exhibit in every other group. Why did you join? You joined this group for camaraderie, right? So comrade. You joined this group for sisterhood. So sisterhood, like, it's... And
it's a learned...
It is.
It's a learned defensive mechanism.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I understand why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I understand. But you need other people.
Yeah.
We got to have that courage to love repeatedly. if we are going to get hurt, I know, but it's okay. There are, for one, plenty of people in this world. I felt devastated when I felt like I could not depend on my blood faith. But God was like, there are other people in this world as well, okay? One door closes, I will open another one. We'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find the people.
And you did. And did.
I did. And I continue to do so.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to elevate and rise because we are aware that we are stronger together.
Yes.
And I believe that this conversation, I don't know where it's going to lead, but I do believe that this conversation has opened the door to sisterhood.
Yes, it has.
Has opened the door to belief in the impossible, release from previous boxes that we've been put in. I definitely would like to get all of the ladies that I'm connecting with. I do identify everyone as a student, so if I refer to you as that, you can refer to me as whatever you want to, because are we getting in the habit or not? Yeah. You know, if I'm your client,
I identify as a lifelong learner, so I am ready.
And if you refer to me as your client, be it. Why? Because you're coaching me as well. I'm learning from you as well. So if you are preparing yourself and creating the energetic vibration for you to move in the energy that you know you are here to move in, I am your client.
Right.
So,
right.
Which means you must handle this relationship as you would a client-coach relationship, which means you are to, which you did, boom, you were like, I would like to talk about this in person. You know, so handle this. We will both handle this like a coach or a teacher, student, client, however you identify relationship, so that you can continue to grow in your identity and I can continue to grow in my identity. And I'm on board to agreeing to that agreement if you are.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's partner. And I would like to invite some other women that I have been working with into the fold.
Absolutely.
So that, and then we.
Been my goal. Oh my goodness. And here it is. Me praying for it. Me praying for it. And me coming. I knew it was coming. I didn't know how. Didn't know when. Just knew it was coming.
And I'm saying you over there with your Jesus and me over here with my God. We doing something.
Yes. Yes,
Look at God.
Jesus, God, all.
Oh,
yes.
And so I'll invite those ladies in, and we can have I would like weekly because this is work.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's perfect.
Yes, I would like for us to meet weekly so that and who can make it, who can't. People gonna fall off, people gonna come back. It's whatever, but we're going to establish this now. And we don't do work.
Yes, I love it.
Because this is what I've been trying to do with my sister circle, but no one's coming out of their houses.
Oh, that's exactly what I've been wanting to do as well.
Yeah. So yeah, in what I'm doing, what I know, I've known for over a year because this is my platform. I have been crafting, creating, shaping people into being able to do what I do, but within their tribe. And I look at it as like the Tower of Babel, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna say some shit that's going to offend your tribe.
And we're always gonna do that.
But you're receptive enough within your tribe to allow me to say that offensive shit, because you coming in as the tribe representative to get the information. I know this offensive ass lady. Let me go meet with her for an hour a week. And then you soak up everything because you don't spend your time being offended. You're like, this is knowledge, period. I don't care. So you in here soaking up game, and then you...
Go
ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to...
So I'm accepting this because I know you're not here to be offensive. You are here to say your perspective, get other people's perspective, learn. That's all I want. And a lot of people are not receptive to that. And I'm like, I didn't come here for you to just attack me the whole time. Like, I came here for us to talk to each other and to learn from each other. And yes, we're never going to agree. Like, me and my girlfriend don't even agree. And we feel like we're the same person. Yeah. We don't always agree.
Yeah.
That's what it is being human.
Amen.
But we have to be able to still have that love and appreciation for each other in that disagreement.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Thank you for this. You've been amazing. You just opened up another avenue to not only connect with people, because yes, we need to connect with Gen Pop, right? We have to connect with the world in order to impact the world. But my voice only reaches so far. Your voice only reaches so far. The rest of our ladies' voices only reach so far. But if we're all crafting and creating this information, like we're helping you develop your ideas, you're helping me develop my ideas, because I am not abandoning manhood. You're not going to get me to, but you did help me shape it a little more, but we're crafting all of these ideas, and and then we go back into our communities and we deliver our messages.
Yes.
And now the energetic vibration, whichever one it hits, and I'm claiming it's hitting me because I've been at this for 2 years, Lord, give me my break, but now we're out there in our communities and we're building our platforms, our energetic platforms. And then when LoneeAppleton hits, guess what? Miss Maria hits too. Guess what? Miss Ree hits too. Guess what? Miss everybody who wants to be out here and wants a platform to share their damn message, it's done. And if Maria hits before Lonnie hits, Lonnie's going with Maria.
Oh,
this is.
You wanted to push me out of my mess because I'm very much that I want to be in the backseat.
Faceless
and
content.
I feel like God is being like, but that's not what I called you to think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, but it's not the most comfortable thing, but let's do this.
Do it.
And you're going to be helping me to overcome that fear, for one.
Yes. And
become more bold in stepping into a leadership position.
Yeah.
That I didn't necessarily want, but I'm being told, like, hey, this is what I'm telling you all this for. So you go tell other people. Yeah,
you can't deliver a message without delivering the message. So I believe that's a learned behavior for us. It's a bully reaction. Fear of judgment and all those different things, because it's either judgment or envy, because last week we did does not envy. It's either envy or judgment or admiration. How are you going to manifest it? Because I am seeing something that is provoking an emotion in me. Now I get to determine, is this envy or is this admiration? And depending on that energy that I put on it, now I'm either looking up to you or I'm resenting you. And I want to pull you down instead of lift you up. Now, what energetic vibration do I want to be in? Lonnie wants I want to feel good. So that means that I don't want to have to look for a reason to tear somebody down. I have to find a reason to lift people up. Because if there's nothing there, right? Look for a reason to tear somebody down. Look for a reason to lift somebody up. Nothing. All right? So either I'm tearing somebody down, I'm lifting somebody up, or I'm doing nothing.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to tear somebody down, which means I have to push myself past the training to lift somebody up.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know how we got there, but here we are.
I know, I'm like, I have to do the work, and I've had people since I was in college, being like, yeah, Maria's gonna be doing this and this and this. And I'm like, whoa, I don't want to do all of that. I just want to be a teacher and I'm a classroom over here. But they're saying that, and then God is like, but that's not what I. Even just blocking me from the classroom because I was No, you think it? No, it seems like it's a bad thing.
No, you literally were blocked from the classroom. So was I.
Exactly.
I got kicked out of my master's program.
But I already knew that if I had ever gotten into the classroom, I would have never left. I would have been comfortable being right where I was.
This is my story, Miss Maria.
Being my little kid.
Yes.
And I would have not worried about anything else, despite what God was telling me I needed to do. So I was like, okay.
I literally said, I'm going in to be a sub so I don't abandon my kids. I'll be a teacher, but I can't be one because I'll be stuck. I will put those kids before me.
Yes,
and
that's exactly what I did.
And I
burned myself to the ground for my babies. And I was like, I'm ready to take the can. It's going to be hard. So I was like, one, you can't sustain yourself like that. Burn yourself to the ground every year. Yeah. No, for one. Two, just the way that they're doing it is not going to make the impact that I need you to make. I'm like, and I'm like, I've been given skills that not everyone has. Like that, great power comes great responsibility. I'm like, do I have the responsibility to use my powers for good then? I do. God's telling me you do. You do. You were given a privilege. You were given a privilege that a lot of other people don't have. What are you going to do with that privilege?
What are you going to do?
You going to hoard it?
You going to hoard it? What you going to do?
I know. I'm like, it's so hard, especially because I'm like, it's not that I'm scared of adults. I'm just, to me, it's very easy to be like, what is this? But I'm like, community is needed. The world needs someone to stand up for it. Meaning somebody got to sacrifice. No one ever wants it to be them. But like, someone's got to do it.
And you got us.
To get better.
You got us. You ain't out here alone no more.
Yes, I'm not out alone. Ooh.
Yeah, so them bitches.
Yes.
Them bully bitches ain't gonna hold us back from doing what we here to do. Like, we are God's chosen. We are God's chosen. So we're done shrinking for they bully ass tactics.
Absolutely.
Like, I had to overcome it. That's why I brought up the post in the beginning. You know, I got I don't know what the reactions are because, like you said, I don't read them. I learned very early on, don't read the comments. Soon as you see the hate starting to come, because look, you got to deliver the message regardless. Look, I'm just a messenger. I tell my community all the time, I don't believe necessarily in what I'm saying. I'm just delivering the message. The shit makes sense, so why not? You know, because guess what? Guess what? I got to talk to everybody. I can't just talk to people who think like me. I got to talk to people who think like, somebody told me a long time ago, he was like, you know what, Miss Lonnie, you speak in contradictions. I was like, I do, because I'm here.
I contain multitudes.
Yeah, it's like, I can stand for it. I can stand against it. I can see their perspective. I can see their perspective. And I keep going back. And it's just like, because I have to, the only way that we're going to unify is if we see each other's perspectives. And so someone with the ability to speak both of their languages, now we're doing something. And so, yeah, I embrace it. He delivered that message and then he got way too deep. And I was like, ooh, I can't do nothing for you, son. He's trapped in it, you know. And when we see those people who are trapped in it, and for our case, it would be the anger and the violence towards each other, right? The devaluing of Black lives, because the devaluing of the Black lives to the extreme is taking each other out. The devaluing of the Black lives in the infancy is, you know, just, why are you looking at me like that?
In a way that you wouldn't do to other.
Yeah. But you gonna just automatically nut up on me? Like, that's not fair. Simply because you see my Black skin and then you want to say that you don't have a problem with Black people.
Exactly.
I got a problem with you. Where did the problem arise except for as soon as you saw my black skin, you had a problem?
Absolutely.
That's David and Goliath.
With men and women.
Yeah.
I keep bumping up against men because anytime I want to say something, they want to shut me down. Well, I just don't like you. You don't know me. What you don't like is that I'm a woman that's saying something. That, because if I was a man saying it, it would make sense. It makes sense. You just don't want to hear it coming from me as a woman.
Yeah.
We do that with other black people as well. You don't want to see it coming from ourselves. Not because you're just so set in hating other black people. We were taught that from birth. If you get on any type of media, 99% of the time it's going to be anti-black. So it's not like you could have escaped it. It wasn't your fault. But you got to be intentional about climbing out of it.
It's definitely all by design. God has been on me heavy. Like, me and my husband used to, I used to say, we talk about 3 subjects strong. We talk about selling drugs, slavery, and anal sex. And I don't know how anal sex keeps coming up. It hasn't in a very long time, but it comes up, and I'm just like, how does slavery keep coming up? Like, in 2020, why do we keep talking about slavery? Just as a couple, somehow our conversation always circled back to slavery. Somehow our conversation always circled back to selling drugs, and it always circled back to anal sex. And so I remember joking about that like years ago. And now to be in a space to where I am like, call my ass, because I am freeing the slaves, because we are still in mental bondage. They released us from the physical chains, but the only reason why they allowed the physical chains to be removed outside of economy was because they had our minds. That whole time was experimentation. That whole time was a proven a theory that you could break our minds. So it took them 400 years to break our minds, but as soon as they broke our minds, they're like, all right, you're free.
Yes. And someone showed me an analogy I've seen come up multiple times, where there's a specific type of crab that if you put them all in a bucket, you don't have to put a top on the bucket, because they'll keep pulling themselves into the bucket. So they knew they put us in this bucket. Never have to put a top on it. There's no top there anymore. But we'll pull ourselves down.
Yep.
Because of what we're surrounded by, what we've been taught for generation upon generation upon generation.
And what God just gave me with that was, initially it was survival. We had to shrink ourselves in order not to literally be plucked off of the street and killed. And so, especially our black men, you had to make yourself small, especially the darker your skin. So now you're experiencing repression because that's your survival. I'm able to survive a little bit better than you're able to survive simply because my skin is lighter. So now we have that resentment because it's not necessary that it is like 100%, right? Our circle. Yes, it's that your skin is more palatable and more preferred because it looks like theirs, but don't get it twisted. I'm still a nigga too, And so, but another part of this is, if they scan a crowd, their eyes are going to fall on the darker skin than the lighter skin. So your darker skin makes you a target over me. So now you have a problem against me, not because of their favoritism, but also because it makes you a target. So there's a lot of stuff that we got to walk back for this. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like,
with that specific analogy, I'm like, in order for us to heal each other, we can't do what we've done in the past. A lot of times, lighter skinned people would take that ticket and run with it. Well, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. You don't pass the paper bag test. I'm going to go have my life. Good luck with that. So us as lighter skinned people need to backtrack on that. use our privilege. I'm like, I am a power mover. I have had police officers stop traffic so I can cross the street.
I've never had issues with police.
Meaning I put myself in between police officers and whoever's behind them. I know they're going to think twice when they look at me. And that's our job. So that's where the great power comes great responsibility on our parts.
I love that. And so the slavery link that I was just making is, we just had to shrink ourselves to survive. And of course it has turned, like, beating our kid, yes, to survive. I had to break you
so they don't hate you.
Yes. And so now that shrink yourself and saying whatever the fuck I gotta say to break your spirit, the breaking of the spirit. Because when I read Let's Make a Slave, and I didn't read all of it, girl, I was writing about something in my journal and it said, I'm about to go look up the Willie Lynch letter. And it's just,
I read that shit too.
Yeah, and it didn't have impact the first time I read it the way that it has changed my life now, because I'm in a totally different level of awareness. But whoever's version I read or a publication linked into something called Let's Make a Slave. And I read the first paragraph of it. So between the Willie Lynch letter and the Let's Make a Slave first paragraph, I had so many damn revelations. I was like, I can't even sit still. I gotta go tell the people. And so I didn't read the rest because I was delivering messages. But, you know.
Y'all see this?
Yes. But it literally says in Let's Make a Slave, you break a Negro like you break a horse. And so those same tactics we use in our home now are unnecessary. You do not have to break the horse's spirit. You don't have to break your child's spirit. You don't have to, but we don't know that because we don't know what else to do, because we're all switching to this alternative parenting stuff, which is exactly what I did. When I stopped breaking my children's spirits, I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how not to yell. I don't know how, I don't know how to do anything to get results, and so my house went to chaos. And so what a lot of us are experiencing is, okay, if I stop doing this, I have no control. And so that's why our missions are so important. Well, my mission, because I'm focused on the family, you're focused on love. So your message is potentially, you're going to take the information from our weekly meeting and you're going to go deliver your message, your brand, right? And so, but my focus is the family. And so it's to get us from the now what space way quicker than I was there for a year. My house went to shit for a year.
That's the vision that I keep being given. That taking this knowledge that I have and I'm sharing it with those who want to hear it to better their lives and the lives of people around them.
Mm-hmm. You gonna do your work or no, Miss Maria?
Exactly. Like, am I gonna do that work? Yes, I'm choosing to step into that as hard as it is, as much as I want it to be.
Hayden, do you see? But did you see I was on a call? Okay, so do you think your need to tell on your sister is more important than my phone call? Or do you think you could have walked in here quietly and said, excuse me, and got my attention that way? Which would have been a better approach? Yes. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? And remember, you can't speak to me that way. I don't understand that. Alfalfa ate your chicken nugget?
Yes, I had 5 chicken nuggets. Now I'm back to 3 chicken nuggets.
Where was your plate, though?
My plate was on the counter next to the air fryer.
On the counter?
Next to the air fryer.
Alfalfa got on the counter?
No, I just dropped my chicken nugget on the floor and he ate them entire.
Oh, were you going to eat chicken nuggets off of the floor, though?
No.
Were you going to throw them in the trash?
Yes.
Okay, so would you rather the dogs eat them or you just throw them in the trash?
Throw them in the trash.
Why not? Let the dogs have them. That's mean.
But the dog don't eat human food.
They shouldn't eat human food, you are right. But if it drops on the floor, it's a nice little treat for them, right? It's like a snack for them. They're not supposed to eat it, but every once in a while they can. Yeah? Okay.
But I don't want the dog is lost it. I don't want dog is lost it chip.
The chocolate chip.
Yes. It made our dropped it. It made our dropped it.
Sorry, girl, my computer died.
Oh. I think we need to be right back.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I'm sorry you dropped your chicken nuggets, but,
But next time they buy me a chocolate chip and
buy you some chocolate chips?
Yeah.
How do we get on the chocolate chips? Go make you some more chicken nuggets.
That was some great momming right there. So my thing is, as a trade educator, I trade to talk to children. You did a fantastic job. I always be listening to people's parenting, and I'll be like,
Yeah, and I felt the pressure. I was like, Miss Maria watching. Hold on. All right, son. Are you pay attention to your body? Are your emotions okay?
and you did a fantastic job. We're not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I've been trading this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I have my off days, and I come back to my baby. You know what, baby? I'm sorry. The way I acted yesterday, that was right. We don't want to be like that as people.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And that's how you develop their character. That's how the first 5 years you were putting that in there. I was talking to my husband about telling your kid to stop, because I was asking him the question about the how do you tell a boy to stop crying, or a kid, doesn't matter. But I was asking his perspective, and he was like, you just tell him to stop crying. I was just like, but what are you trying to tell them to stop producing tears? You know, to stop crying? And he's like, no, of course I'm not saying that. I was like, but if you're coming to a child and you say stop crying, or, you know,
Children are literal.
Yeah, they're going to take it. Or if you just tell a kid to stop, whatever they're doing, you say stop. If they're doing 5 things, then what exactly are you telling them to stop? So they're going to stop all 5 things. And so now they got this negative energy associated with those 5 things. When in reality, you were just telling them to stop doing one thing. And, and what my husband taught me is we want to speak in shorthand with our children. Mm-hmm. We want to be able, you know how you understand long form and then short form, abbreviation, boom. Abbreviation, that's more common language. You know, so we want to speak abbreviatedly to our children, but we haven't taught them the long form first. Like,
exactly. You haven't taught them the long form. So they have, the short form doesn't mean anything to them.
Doesn't mean anything.
Like what you might literally stop crying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, am I supposed to stop having my emotions? Am I supposed to stop, you know, what am I stopping?
Yeah.
And I try to tell people there are 2 things you got to remember about kids. You have to be just expecting that they already know what you're talking. Don't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
They just got here. They don't know anything about the world. If you want them to know something, you have to tell them explicitly, and you're gonna have to do it more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Children, nobody learns just by the first time. As an average human being, it takes you about 30 times to hear something for it to become a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine being a child who's at the same time having to learn about everything in the world around them all the time. You're gonna say things more than once all the time.
Yeah.
That's okay. And you might even hear me, like, it just gets in my mind as a teacher. I spend my day saying the same thing over and over again. It's okay to make mistakes. 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 Like, I'm a broken record because that's what kids need to hear. That's what then creates confident children, because they're hearing it over and over and over again until it becomes a mantra in their head, like you said. What is going on in their head?
But what
Are they hearing the negative or are they hearing the positive? All that.
But to what degree is it okay to make mistakes? Because at some point, and this goes back to Jesus to me, at some point you have to be like, no, spirit of excellence. If I made a mistake, it's because it's something that I didn't know or it was out of my control. So we have to even define mistake because
I do. Even with my baby, she's like, it was an accident. I'm like, no, baby, an accident is you didn't know. And then you did it. Mm-hmm. Once you know and you keep doing it, it's not an accident anymore. You are purposely doing it.
So the word mistake in itself is shorthand.
Well, for me, it's I work with my students,
mm-hmm.
and my students have.
But you've taught them.
I'm noticing that all kids come into the space being afraid for things to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's okay to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I do not have to know the right answer. I am here to learn. So we sit there and we go through a whole, I am here to learn. Miss Maria is here to help me. It is okay if I make a mistake. I learn from my mistake. I learn when I make a mistake. And you can even, we talk about mistakes. Did something that wasn't right, did something on accident. It's okay for that to happen, but we have to learn from it. So that's me being very intentional with my babies.
All right. So I just challenge you if I can offer this.
Yeah.
Because is anything ever truly wrong? It's perspective. So if we can, hold on, let me ask my question. Just when the use of wrong, that word just has so much energy associated with it, and it's almost a stopgate. So when you said it's okay to be wrong, I was just thinking, could better language be it's okay to try? Because wrong, the energetic vibration with wrong is like jarring, right?
And that's what I'm trying to take away from the kids. Because at the end of the day, 2 + 2 is not going to equal 8. They get that wrong. But that's okay. We are practicing.
So it's okay to practice. It's okay to try.
Okay to practice. It's okay to try.
It's okay not to get the right answer. It's okay.
Fail. It's like you're going to lose in life. You're not going to get the job sometimes. You're not going to win the race, no matter how hard you try it. It's okay if that happens. These are learning experiences.
Yeah, so there's a way to convey that message, but using the highest vibrational language we can.
Mm-hmm.
That is just what I received from hearing you to say that, because we do need to convey the message that it is okay to misstep, right? It's okay to fumble,
Mm-hmm.
But how do we teach it? One, where we're not letting it be all over the place, like, because people who haven't been programmed with the fortitude to push through will live a wrong life. Like, hey, I'm a failure and it's okay. Miss Maria told me it's okay. No, I'm not saying that, but to some people, if they don't have the fortitude, then so how do we?
But then that's the part of, is anything actually wrong that I would like to challenge? Because in one way I see it is my sister has a brother. My sister-in-law has a brother. Or my girlfriend has a brother who's my brother-in-law. What he wants in life is that he works like Taco Bell or something. But he's happy. He's part of their community. They have a softball team. Other people want to look at that and be like, well, you failed. You didn't get there. And I'm like, why is that failure?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't that just be his form of happiness?
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely is very nuanced in that way. It's just lots of nuance, lots of talking through, lots of separate, like a lot of times we like to lump everything into the same, saying 4 + 4 is going to be 10. That'll always have a right and wrong answer, okay?
Yeah.
But a career choice is not the same.
Yeah. So everything almost seems like it has a time and a place.
Yes.
So we have to be mindful of when we choose to utilize certain directives, because it matters.
That's what we're coming to. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does matter.
But yeah, 2 + 2 is 4, period.
Yeah.
But taking a chance to figure something out that, you push yourself out of your comfort zone, go off then. Keep doing that. It's okay. It is okay to try. It's okay.
It's okay to try, and even like with, when we see the people who invent, these people didn't one day, I create quadratic formula. No, they did test after test after test after test that yielded nothing, and they kept going because they had a goal in mind, and they're like, well, if I can do something else, maybe something else will come out of that.
Amen.
So I like to teach that to my students of, maybe you won't get the outcome that you were looking for, but you will always, always, always learn.
Amen.
And if we can take what we've learned and do better the next time, you are always succeeding.
Amen. All right. Well, I'm going to say let's end it here. I think this has been a this has been a magically blessed conversation. And we can continue in the chat. Yeah.
I'm excited about where this is going to go.
Yes, I'm going to get together and conceptualize. I'm thinking Saturday simply because people don't have to get up, and some of the people are on the East Coast, and some of us, I'm going to invite my friend over in the UK. So, if we can really start doing something and building this community, whatever this looks like. But I'm just
whatever it looks like.
Yeah, I'm just happy to have found people who are receptive to meeting and growing, which is what I want. And eventually the public will join in. But until then, we must prepare ourselves for the public. And we will teach each other. We will teach each other how to have those hard conversations where people bump up against it and all those different things. We'll teach each other to be able to deal with the general public, and we'll have the confidence to do whatever needs to happen. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, sis.
Great rest of your day.
All right, I'll see you in the chat.
Okay, bye.
Wow.